So no, since he got diagnosed, he's getting fitter.
Yeah.
So that's another point. The potential is like you may be really fit all your life, but you may never reach your full potential, and you can reach it now with whatever age you are. What is the role that exercise played in your journey with Parkinson?
Indispensable necessity, in my opinion, of taking a large amount of exercise following your diagnosis. This is because the exercise generates natural dopamine, and it's much better, of course, that you subsist on natural dopamine rather than external synthetic dopamine. So my advice that I give to others who are considering incorporating exercise is do it. Yes, you must absolutely do it. It really is as important, if not as important, as the medication regime.
For Nick, when he got the diagnosis, he increased the amount of exercise that he's doing, and he prioritized the exercise in his life.
Exercise has played a very prominent, since my diagnosis in 2020, exercise has been a really important position. And of course, Luis, you were there because you've been looking after me for how long now, 8 years. And you were there when I had the diagnosis, and at that time I think we were meeting once a week. You, interestingly, knew about this because being a sports scientist, you had knowledge about the signal importance of Parkinson's and exercise, and it was agreed that we would push it up to at least twice a week, perhaps sometimes 3 times a week. And so we've been exercising very hard since then, and there is no doubt that a combination of that exercise and one particular drug, which I'm called a picapone, I'm getting plenty of dopamine from that source, but I'm also getting plenty of dopamine from the exercise, and so I have normal mobility. I've had no tremor now for 3 years. My body strength is pretty good.
What kind of exercise do you do?
Like a lot of squats and wall sits and a lot of hiking or running, but like I find hiking uphill. Yeah, and one thing that I do that is when I'm walking my dog or I'm hiking, I'll always, if I see a log on the floor, I'll walk along the log, balance along the log.
That's good.
And I do that religiously. Like, I've got logs that I've tried to balance on without falling off, and I haven't managed to complete, but every time I still try and do them.
I think that is marvelous because with the dyskinesia, that makes your brain to create the connection to be able to do the log. So after you will be able to walk perfectly.
You ask, how do I stay motivated? Well, I stay motivated because I see other people with Parkinson's who aren't doing as much exercise as me on a slow decline, whereas I have not declined. I'm on the same dosage of the drug that since 2022. I haven't changed at all, and I feel I've just been skiing, and the children all said that I was skiing as well as when we last went on this particular adventure back in 7 or 8 years ago. So I stay motivated, but it's as simple for profit and loss reasons that if I don't take the exercise, then I can foresee deterioration. You ask what message of hope would I like to share with others with Parkinson's. When you get the diagnosis, it sounds terrible. I mean, it sounds as if you're on a slippery slope to a grisly end. It's not like that. It's not a death sentence. It's not. It is, of course, progressively degenerative, and there's nothing that can be done about that. But then, isn't life progressively degenerative as we get older? I mean, if I didn't have Parkinson's, I'm approaching 70. What other disabilities would I be facing? I mean, when you get to 70 and you look ahead, it's hardly a primrose path, is it? The best way of shutting out these gloomy thoughts is to try and take each day as it comes, to live the existential life, and to carp, as we say, each DM. About the holiday that we've just had, HELISKI in the wilderness of Canada. Oh my word, you have to be fit for that, and it is the most exhilarating, extraordinarily exhilarating experience. But the feeling of floating through the deep snow is extraordinary. The heli-skiing itself does require you to really engage brain, to keep yourself upright, and I did fall quite a few times. There's a sort of funny sort of psychological acceptance of falling because you are going to fall into very soft snow. And of course, but the heli-skiing is so demanding, you have to try and maintain your balance and coordination, and you do require upper and body strength. And did I have a specific moment when exercise helped me to overcome Parkinson's related challenge? Well, yes, because it was the exercise that got me around a number of very hairy corners when skiing through trees. The fact is that I feel very steady on my feet. I just think that that's because of the exercise that I'm able to avoid that unhappy event which is faced by so many people with Parkies, which is the daily fall. We tend to have a daily fall.
Which advice will you give to someone with Parkinson?
Don't go down the Google. Don't Google the symptoms or anything to do with Parkinson's, because it's too easy to go in a negative channel, and you've got to stay positive as much as you can. So I tell friends and family, if you read anything on the internet or hear anything on news articles of Parkinson's that's positive, share that with me. But if it's a negative thing, I don't want to know about it. And so that's my thing, stay positive.
I personally think that to approach life generally with your glass half full is better than with your glass half empty, but it's particularly important, in my opinion, to try and do that if you're a PD sufferer.
Okay, we're going skiing.
We are going skiing. We're going skiing. We're going to show them that we two decrepit old parkies can do it. Yep.